evening and welcome to Hey Hitchcock. This is Tim Hitchcock and we're sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm and Daylily Nursery. Today we have a special guest, Johnny Sparkman of Sparkman Farms, one of the few remaining dairy farms around Warren or White County. Johnny and I have known each other a little bit for the last 40 years or more.
Yeah.
I was not as tough as Johnny. I got out of the dairy business back in 1995 or 96.
You were just smarter, Tim.
Well,
you were just smarter.
I don't know. You've done well.
It's been good to us.
Yeah.
It's been good to us.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, you were telling me before we started about your house. You grew up in this house.
I grew up in this house. Yeah, this is, I'm the fourth generation to live in this house, and I'm actually building a smaller house on the farm now. And my another son's going to be moving in here, and they'll be the fifth generation.
Fifth generation.
Now, at one time, Tim, there was 4 generations living in this house at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Very unusual. That probably has never happened, but I had me, my dad, his mother, and her mother all living at the same time.
Wow.
Built in 1896. Hey, it's an old house, but it's been home a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
a long time.
And probably it was built with lumber that was harvested here on the farm. And
Yeah. You know, my grandmother came up here in the 40s from McMinnville, from Warren County.
Okay.
Because there was an uncle here that was had never been married, and he got sick. And so she came up here and took care of him for quite a few years, and he gave her the farm. And that's where it all started, because my grandmother had lost her husband while she was in Warren County. He was 32 years old.
Oh.
So she was widowed at a young age, and she had a son. He was 5 years old, my dad. And so they made, J.B. Moore, his dad, they were right in that area there where they are, where they live.
Yeah.
So they had Warren County ties and moved up here in the 40s, late 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the land, it's been in the family. Now, has it been in the extended family since the house was built?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how we've had a few guests that have been able to trace their land back.
Century Farms, maybe, reach that milestone.
Even past Century.
Yeah,
We've had a couple that their ancestors received the land as land grants from service in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. We haven't went back that far.
Okay.
And Uncle Eli would be the only one that we're going back to, and I'm not sure how, behind that, I'm not really sure where it goes.
Okay.
I guess we're thinking more about the future than the past. You know? Yeah. Anyway, it's...
So you grew up here, how many siblings did you have?
I had two brothers,
okay.
Yeah. One turned out to be a school teacher, and one taught agriculture here in the county, and then went with Farm Bureau, and both of them are retired right now. So I'm the oldest, but I'm the only one still working. Well, that tells you a lot or not.
Yeah, that says a lot. Now, none of them. Now you dairied here. I can see by the old dairy barn down there.
1954 is when that barn was started.
1950. That's
grade A milk.
That's the year I was born. It was
okay.
1954.
That's the day they started shipping grade A milk.
Okay. Now we did grade A. Probably from about 1958, 59.
So just a little bit behind us.
Over in the Midway community. We had the old stanchion barn, you know.
We had the stanchion barn.
Locked the head.
Right.
And then we built a, we called it a pit, you know.
Yeah, that's the way we did the same thing.
And at first, for the stanchion barn, we put the milk in the milk cans. And then when we built the new barn,
you see the change we've seen.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's been. Hey, I wouldn't trade nothing for it. A lot of people say, "Why do you do that?" It's what we do.
Yeah,
it's in our blood. I see it in my son's blood now.
Oh yeah,
we enjoy it. Is it hard work? It's not as hard as it used to be, Tim.
No,
it's a lot easier. Technology has brought a lot of things to us that has improved. We can do things. We can do more. We can milk more cows. And it's a lot less, you know, we got bigger equipment to do what our crops, and it's different, man.
Yeah.
It's just different than it used to be.
Yeah. Now, when you back in 1954, how many were you and your dad milking?
Probably in the 20 to 30 range, you know. Of course, I was just born in 51, so I don't really remember the numbers back in 54.
Right.
They was milking, but I can remember it was a low number, you know. And I got involved really when I was, didn't take agriculture in high school.
I didn't either.
I just didn't really see a need for it. I'm not
either.
sure that's what I wanted to do, you know.
Yeah.
And so then when I was a senior in high school, my dad said, hey, there's a guy up in the county here, Charles Gillen, that's bought a registered herd out of Missouri, a registered Holstein herd. Said, I'd like to go up and see those cows. Would you like to go with me? So I said, yeah, Dad, I would. So we took off up there to Mr. Gillen's in the Blue Springs community here in White County. And man, Mr. Gillen started showing us these cows, beautiful cows, a lot better cows than I'd ever seen before.
Right.
And telling us about their pedigrees and all that. And it just fascinated me.
Lit a
And I
fire
came
under
back and asked, lit a fire.
Yep.
There you go. That's
Yep.
a term to use. Came back home and I asked Dad, I said, would you buy me some registered Holsteins? And he said he would. So he bought me 3, and that's where we started.
Okay.
And then I went on to University of Tennessee and majored in, actually had a dairy science degree, a 4-year degree over there. And I took dairy science at University of Tennessee and graduated, and then came back here to this farm that we're sitting on today. And we were milking 150 to 200 cows at that time. And
how many in this barn right down here?
yeah.
And how many did you milk at a time?
We milked, it was a double 5.
Double 5.
So we
okay.
milked 10. We had milkers on both sides.
Yeah.
So we milked 10 at a time. You know.
Okay.
And I took a lot of interest in production, you know, and of course when you come back from college, you bring a lot of stuff with you, you know.
Yeah.
Things you learned. And so our herd improved, and times we'd have the top producing herd in the States, you know. That was an achievement that we made a number of times. And just took a lot of pride in, then I got, the genetics really fascinated me, how you could use bulls and improve the next generation would be so much better than the other generation, past generation. That fascinated me. And then, you know, I left here in 1984 and built my dairy, which is down the road about 2 miles. Now, there was a buyout program the government had, and it was an opportunity for Dad to, you could actually scale back, I think. And so he decided to scale back, and I thought, this is my opportunity to branch off.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And so I started out milking 40 cows, and the way I had it figured, I could get rich and raise 6 kids. But it didn't take me long, because interest rates went to like 18%.
Oh,
and,
I remember that well.
yeah, back in the 80s. Buddy. And so it brought on I had to have a different direction.
Yeah.
And we had to milk more cows.
Yeah.
And we've grown over the years, and then I had 2 sons come back, and we've grown more, and we're about 550 cows right now, mature cows, about 650 heifers, and we're going to get bigger.
Yeah.
We've got to get bigger.
Yeah.
We've got to get bigger.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break right now, and we'll talk about that when we get back. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We're here with Johnny Sparkman on Sparkman Farms, and we'll be back.
In a place like Warren County, community means everything. And when it comes to your health, trust goes a long way. Every prescription, vaccine, and interaction is handled with care, combining modern technology with a personal approach so you feel confident in every medication you take. And now with our Test and Treat program, you can get tested and treated for common illnesses like flu and strep right here without the wait. And whether it's inside the pharmacy or the drive-thru, the care you receive is more than a pill or a vaccine. It's those in the community serving the community. It's knowing that the staff behind the counter care about your health and your medication, but most importantly, you. So come to Graves Family Pharmacy, because here we put the care in Warren County's healthcare. Graves Family Pharmacy, caring for Warren County one patient at a time.
Good evening and welcome back to Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We're here today, and if you watch the first segment, you notice our background is different. This is such a beautiful place here on Johnny Sparkman's farm that we want to get in as much of the scenery as we can. But we've been reliving some of our past in the dairy business and our associations. We talked a little bit about genetics as we ended the last segment. Now, I can remember when I was at college, I took an artificial insemination class. And I was the first guy that I know of in Warren County
that bred AI
to do, well, others were breeding AI, but I was doing my own.
Oh, okay, yeah, on the farm. They had technicians that came around to the farm.
That would come around. You had a cow in the heat. You'd call him up. You'd put the cow in a stable.
Been there and done it.
Yep. And after I had that class, I came back and started my dairy farm. That was in 1977. And I got a liquid nitrogen tank. Did my own artificial insemination. The liquid nitrogen tank was fun for the kids when they would have in science. They talked about it, and I'd bring a
liquid nitrogen,
a tank with extra liquid nitrogen, and we'd freeze a banana and then break it with a hammer. Kids like it. Now in 1977, when I started, in Warren County, there were 144 dairies in Warren County.
It's amazing.
White County was probably similar.
Probably not quite that much, but a large number. Now, I started AI in 1969.
Okay.
1969. And we've been doing it ever since, and it's revolved like everything else. You know, genomic testing now, we can do DNA, and we can find out all about the animal, how productive she's going to be, and our breeding philosophy has changed completely. We used to breed more like, I would say, show cows.
Yes.
But now it's about cows that are productive. They stay around a long time. They breed back good. They handle the concrete because our cows are confined, so they handle the concrete good feet and legs. When animal wellness traits.
When I called you a few weeks ago to try and set this up, you said you had somebody coming. You couldn't do it that week because you had somebody coming
grooving concrete.
Groove the concrete. Explain grooving concrete. Most people have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's where they come in with a machine and they actually cut little grooves. This guy, normally we have like a 1/2 inch groove. This guy's going to do a 2-inch groove, and it goes down about a 1/4 inch deep, and that gives a cow's footing. Occasionally, and more often than we like to, we have a problem with the cows in heat.
Right.
And the other cow mounting can cause some problems, the cows getting hurt on concrete. So we're trying to avoid as much of that as we can.
That concrete's wet and has wet manure on it, and it's slick. And they will
split out and injure themselves.
Oh, I had that happen numerous times. I had my concrete groove too, but it's
So Tim, probably one of the biggest things we've seen though in AI is sex semen.
Yes.
Sex semen. So now on our farm, our breeding protocol is this.
Well, let me interrupt just a second. First, when did you finally get to the point where, now are you 100% registered cattle now?
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you get to where you were 100% registered?
Oh, that's been probably, this is my 53rd year, so it's probably been a long time, 30 years or longer,
Okay. Now, I never did get into registered cattle, had some good milkers, but again, you were the smart guy. That's why you're still in business.
I don't know about being a smart guy. It's not what it used to be, probably. It's about what that cow, what she looks, the day, if you sell them, what she looks like the day you sell them is what's the most important thing. But with the sex semen, this is our protocol on our farm. Right now, currently, we're breeding 45% of our cows. Now, when I say our cows, it's the lower end of our cows. We can do genomic testing, and we can tell you the lower end of our genetic base here on our farm. We know, though, that lower end, they get bred to Angus. And we capitalizing on the dairy beef. It's huge now. You know about beef prices, most people do.
Unbelievable.
So it's, we're talking about a 3-day-old half Angus Holstein calf bringing $1,500. So that adds about $2.50 to our milk weight price.
Yeah.
That extra income. And then the other, that's 45% to Angus. The other 55% get bred to sex Holstein.
Okay.
Now that's not 100%, but it's in the 90 to 95%. So we'll have 100, we'll still have 4 or 5 or maybe bulls, but the rest of them will be heifers. So we cull about 35% a year. So for replacements, we have to have numbers coming in to replace those cows that are culled out. And so we have them from our sex semen. So that's the model now in the dairy industry.
Okay. Now, the genetic testing, how expensive is that to
It's about $35 an animal.
about $35 an animal?
All it takes is just a hair off of the switch of her tail, you know, and they can do all this they do with DNA testing and stuff.
And, once you do that, that cow has that potential. Whereas when I was doing it, and just grade cattle, you just hoped that you got a good cow.
Try to use the best bulls. And,
yeah. Now, at what point?
All of our cows are they're computer mated, based on their performance and on their ancestors back. So we try to avoid inbreeding. You have to be real careful about that.
Right.
So everything's done with a computer, deciding which animals are bred to certain sires.
Now, do you do your own breeding? Or do you have,
yeah.
Okay.
You met my daughter-in-law a while ago. She brought us these nice chairs.
Yeah.
She is the breeder on the farm, so she breeds.
Really?
Yeah. All of our heifers are bred to sex semen, and all of our, like I said, 55% of our cows are. She told me this morning that we had 200 cows bred to sex semen, and about 200 heifers bred to sex semen.
Okay.
So you're going to lose a few, and things are going to happen, but
exactly.
You're probably going to be in the 90%. So that's going to give us about 350, 360 heifers calving in, or heifers being born this year to calve in a couple of years later.
Right.
So that means we're going to be expanding.
Yep.
Because the numbers are going to be going up. And we thought, well, do you sell these animals? They're a good price now, but
what does a spring and heifer bring right now?
$4,400 last week.
$4,400.
Sale last week in Minnesota. It's every week they have. It's a video sale.
Yeah.
And they were $4,400. That's up a little bit.
Yeah.
From where they have been. Been around $4,000, but they're easing up.
Yeah.
It's just like in the beef industry. Well, imagine we've taken these cows, breeding them to Angus.
Yeah.
Not getting bred to Holstein now.
Right.
So it's cut back on the heifer replacements. And so that's starting to show up now.
Now, back when I was in business, if you got $1,000 to $1,200 for a good spring and heifer,
Good.
that was top money. That was top money back then. So now, you do the genetic testing, so you know what the potential of this cow is. Now, how do you make sure that she lives up to that potential with feed and?
Well, I always say she gets her Social Security number when she's born, and that goes in her ear.
Yeah.
And that traces her all the way through her life here on Sparkman Farms.
Right.
And we have a computer system, and they have a collar that goes around their neck, and that has a chip in it, and that identifies everything that cow does. How many breaths she takes a day, how many steps she takes a day, how much milk she gives.
Kind of like a
her
Fitbit
temperature.
for a cow.
Yeah. So every cow, you can go over and sit in front of the computer, and you can. I always was in the barn, hands-on. Now, my sons and my daughter-in-law, Ashley mainly, my daughter-in-law, will go over there and sit and look in the computer, and she can flag a cow that's off in her production. Maybe her rumination's not where it needs to be, just by looking at that computer. And that has been probably one of the best things of my 53 years in business. That technology has probably been more profitable to us than anything we've ever done on this farm, because we can identify problems earlier. We don't have to depend on our help to do it.
Right.
We got them in there milking the cows the right way. They concentrate on that.
Yep.
And then we can handle the other by checking the computer and how the cows are doing.
Yeah. Back when you and I were first doing it, we had to do everything. We were doing the milking, we were doing the feeding, we were doing the
Take care of
cropping,
calves,
we were doing the breeding,
chopping
pulling
the solids,
calves, feeding everything. Whereas if you can
concentrate on one thing, and you'll get really, really good at it.
Yeah.
So Ashley does the breeding, and she's got her preg rates is a number that you look at in performance in your AI, and they're just off the roof. They're reaching milestones that I could not achieve. But again, that technology, remember in AI, there's a window that you inseminate that cow.
Right.
Well, when you're just doing it by visually looking at that cow, this computer's looking at that cow 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So now we know that window.
Right.
And this is just, our conception rate has just improved a lot. And and that helps performance.
What would your conception rate be approximately?
The other day she told me in Group 1, which is all 2-year-olds, for the month of April was over 50% conception rate on first service.
Wow.
That's really, we've never achieved anything like that. That's the best we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, used to, you know, if a cow stuck on the first service,
That was good.
you were really lucky. Usually 2 to 3 times it would take to get them to stick. I know all of this is kind of, there's no particular date when all these different things started. Now, do you feed, now the thing that she wears around her neck that has the transponder or whatever, does it calculate how much feed she needs to get according to what her...
We do that by, we have what's called a TMR mixer, which is a big mixer that you put all these different ingredients in, and it mixes it up. We weigh them. It's got electronic scales on it. We weigh it. So we have a nutrition that visits our farm right over 2 or 3 weeks. He's always evaluating our forages, our silage, our haylage, and we look at dry matter. Dry matter is very important. Dry matter can change and can affect the cow's production. So he monitors all that, and he gives us a weigh sheet, and that tells us how much ground corn to put in, how much soybean meal to put in, how much cottonseed to put in, how much citrus puff to put in, how much of our mineral mix to put in, how much haylage to put in, and how much, corn silage to put in. That's basically our ration right now. And you put it in this mixer, and it mixes it all up, and it has scales on it. And we have 4 different groups, so my son knows how much to put in based on the number of cows in that group.
Now, the different groups, are they divided according to production or age, or how's that done?
Production and also age.
Okay.
It's a combination. We have a group of what we call the 2-year-olds that have just calved in the post lactation.
Yep.
And they can't hardly compete with those big old cows that are mature.
Right.
They don't have the body weight to do that, and so we have a group for them, and that's been beneficial to us too.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, we're going to have to take another commercial break. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery, here with Johnny Sparkman on Sparkman Farms in White County, and we'll be right back.
At the cafe at Tree City, people are talking about their favorite treats.
I personally like the caramel macchiato.
I'm a cappuccino man.
The biscuits are the best.
I love the egg bites because they're so fluffy.
Gravy biscuits, egg bites, it's all good.
I like the caramel macchiato because it's so sweet.
Come check out our fresh breakfast menu, served all day.
Find out what you like at the cafe, located inside the inn at Tree City.
Good evening and welcome back to Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We're here today with Johnny Sparkman on Sparkman Farms here in beautiful White County. He's one of only 2 dairy farmers left in White County. There were 144, I may have already said this, in Warren County when I started, and now there are 0. Of course, a lot of people just milked grade B. They would work a job at Oster or Powermatic,
Milk a few cows.
come home and milk a few cows. And now, did your dad work off of the farm, or was...
He tried that for about 9 months.
Okay.
He said that wasn't his cup of tea, so he came back and we bought more cows.
It was a rough job. But now, Johnny, back in those days when I was in the business, there were a lot of things that were crazy. For example, milk. They had the, what do you call it, the federal milk order system?
Federal milk order system.
And,
we still have that today.
And you would get paid according to where you lived.
Where you
your
live, the
dairy
county,
was.
if it fell in a certain order, was priced every month. And if you was in another order, it could be county side by side, but they could be a differential there of maybe 20 or 30 cents a hundredweight.
Yes.
And the milk might even go on the same truck and go to the same plant. We get one farmer, and I worked 20 years off the farm.
Yeah.
For a dairy cooperative, and I still run the farm. We milked about 150 cows at that time. And that would be hard to explain to any farmer why his milk went on the same truck with Joe Blow down the road, but he got 20 cents more or 30 cents more than you. And I never did do a good job explaining that because there was no explanation.
There's no explanation.
No explanation to it.
It used to, one thing that really got my goat back then was I would try and, you know, have everything pristine. You know, I won the award in our milk cooperative one year for having the lowest bacteria. Quality award. And my milk would go on a truck and it would go to Florida because the bacteria count was so low that they could make the trip in the summer without it getting, you know, the bacteria count getting too high. And somebody in White County, their milk would go to Murfreesboro because their bacteria count was so high it wouldn't make the trip to Florida, but yet that guy was getting 25, 35 cents a hundred more than me. And,
well,
oh, I hated that.
Yeah. What happened was quality put a lot of dairy farmers out of business.
Yeah.
They couldn't, you know, we had to adapt sometimes. I mean, we weren't where we needed to be, but we adapted.
Right.
But a lot of people didn't adapt, and it put them out of business. And the other thing that put a lot of dairy farmers out of business is transportation. As it costs more and more for these trucks to run up down the road, it got to the point that co-ops looked at, well, we'll treat everybody the same. Well, you've got one guy over here that's shipping a half a tractor trailer load of milk, and one guy shipping 1,000 pounds of milk. You cannot treat them the same as far as the transportation. And that, so they had to look at really the cost of just pulling into a milk barn, no matter if you get a pound of milk or you get thousands of pounds of milk. And so that raised, they come out with formulas, it raised the haul rate for smaller farms quite a bit compared to bigger farms. So being in that industry for 20 years, I came back and I told my sons, I said, there's one thing we have to do. We have to have a tractor trailer load of milk. Yeah. Because that gives us leverage. Yes. And in the marketplace. Yes. And so we really knew that's where that's what we have achieved that now, but that was one goal that we, probably about 10 years ago, we decided we had to do.
Now, milk is still sold by hundredweight,
by hundredweight,
correct? Not
yes,
by
sir.
the gallon, but by hundredweight.
By hundredweights.
Okay. And now, when you sell, they still test every batch of milk.
Antibiotics.
For antibiotics.
Before it gets unloaded at any plant, it's checked for antibiotics. Now, we do ours on the farm. Yes. We check for antibiotics on the farm. We have our own tester. We check for cell counts on the farm. Okay. We check even, when I say cell counts, that has to do with milk quality as far as cow not having no mastitis, any infection in her udder. It's good, clean milk. And we do that routinely on every cow that calves in. Her milk gets checked. Every time our milk is loaded on the truck to go to Asheville, North Carolina, that's where our milk goes. That milk is checked for antibiotics before it leaves our farm to make sure the milk is good. Right. We don't want to pay a haul bill all the way to Asheville, North Carolina, and then they say, uh-oh, you've got antibiotics, because that's not good. But we've been very fortunate. We have all kinds of protocols in place to make sure that we don't make a mistake, you know.
Now, do you have your own tractor trailer?
We have someone that hauls our milk for us.
Okay.
That's probably something we're going to look at as we grow. Yes. It may be something we look at. Yeah.
Now, back in my day, and you experienced too, we had a bankruptcy when the pet milk company. I started out with seal test, and then I think I went to a company called Southern Milk Sales, and then sold to Pet. And
I did too.
I can't remember the year, but Pet went bankrupt.
92.
About $25,000. I don't know.
1992. I remember it well because it got me too for $35,000.
Got you for $35,000.
I remember it distinctly. I was building a brand new freestall barn and was up on the roof, and my wife come to where we were building the barn crying.
Oh yeah.
And said that Troy Sullivans had just called her and said we wasn't going to get a milk check.
Yeah.
Said, what are we going to do? And I said, I think you're mistaken. I hope you are. But no, she wasn't mistaken. But hey, the good Lord took us through that. I don't know how, but he did. Yeah. And that's all that matters. We got through it, and yeah, we survived to do it another day, you know.
Yeah. Now, when you were working as a field man for what was the cooperative?
Maryland and Virginia Milk Producers.
Maryland, Virginia Milk Producers. Now, how big of an area did you cover?
part of Georgia, all of Tennessee, and a little bit of Alabama. And then I went into Kentucky. They weren't even present in Kentucky. And I went into Kentucky and I signed up 200 dairy farms in Kentucky. Woo! During my career of 20 years, I signed up over 1,500 dairy farms in the Southeast. I think being a dairy farmer myself,
absolutely,
I could really relate to the people. They trusted me, and they knew when times were hard. I was going through the same thing at home too. So they didn't run me off the farm. We would sit and talk about things, and so that was a good experience. I learned a lot that I brought back home because I saw people that were very successful. Yes. I saw some people that failed, and I tried to bring some of that knowledge back to the farm and put it in place here on our farm. You learn a tremendous amount just by being on someone else's farm. You pick up ideas that they've been doing, that why didn't I think of that? Yeah, right. I guess, Tim, the biggest thing that I learned was I saw happen so many times where everybody done everything just like their dad did. They hadn't changed. They hadn't had the parents hadn't given them a lot of responsibility, and then the parents either had health issues or had to back away, and they were left there and they didn't know what to do. Right. I have tried to bring my 2 sons up on the farm. Listen, I have 5 sons, and just 2 of them have chose to do this. I have 3 others that have been very successful. One is a highway patrolman in Warren County. Okay. And then one works for Farm Credit. Can I drop your name if I get pulled over? You sure can, but I won't guarantee you won't get a ticket. Because he's told me, don't think I will give you a pass, because he won't, because he's very strict. Whenever I get pulled over, which happens occasionally, my sister-in-law was a police officer in Chattanooga. Okay. And anytime I get stopped, the first thing I do is roll out my window. Oh, I know. I've stick my hands out the window. And the trooper will usually say, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Well, my sister was a police officer, and she said, if I see that person's hands, I know I've got nothing to worry about. If I can't see their hands and I'm walking up to the window, you're gonna be a little cautious. I'm a little nervous." And I said, "I do not want you to be nervous, because if you're not nervous, if you're relaxed, you might be more inclined to let me off." Most of the time they do. I'll tell you one story. When I was working for the Maryland Virginia Milk Producer, I had a load of antibiotic milk in Georgia. So I had to go back and get a sample on that farm and make sure the next milk picked up was going to be okay. And I was going through Chattanooga, and it's late at night because I had to go down and get this done. And the guy pulled me over, and he was really nice. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And I told him, I said, "I got to go to Georgia. The whole milk supply in Georgia is in danger if I don't get down there and get this problem fixed." And his response was, "They need to get you a helicopter." So he let me go, and I pulled off and drove down the road, and I went on to Georgia. I got one time, I was coming back from Nashville with a load of cerisa seed. We had combined and took down Dobson Hicks. Dobson and Hicks, remember them? Coming back with it, and this was back when the radar was like a little satellite dish that they put on a tripod, and they hid in the woods. In the woods, yeah. And they clocked me doing, I think, 85, 90 miles an hour in this old pickup that would not do that, Yeah. And when they pulled me over, I said, "Look, this truck won't do that." I said, "You get in here with me, you drive, and we'll go up to the next exit, turn around and come back. And if you can get this truck to go that fast, I'll give you the truck." And he just kept riding and says, "We're in the ticket business, sir, not in the truck business." You got a ticket. Got a ticket. Well, I didn't get a ticket that day. He let me go. I didn't get no helicopter, though. Anyway. So, what were your duties as a field man for Maryland Virginia Milk quality? Go around make farm visits. And then we got into something that I didn't like, but the consumers started putting demands on us, making sure the cows were taken care of the right way. Right. That calves were dehorned the right way, that when a calf was born, it was took care of the right way, that if a cow fell down and you had to get her up, you got her up the right way. A lot of things that just brought on more. So we had to do evaluations. Sit down with a farmer, say, how do you take care of your baby calves?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and you had to go through a big old spiel of how they done things on their farm. And then it kept getting even worse. Then it started talking about how do you take care of your help? Do you have housing?
Yes.
You know, do you do this? Do you do that for your help? And that's when I thought, man, this thing is getting to be a little more than I signed up for.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I was right there at my 66 years of retirement when I wanted to be. And so that's when I left that and came straight back here to the farm. And
okay. Now, you say your milk goes over to North Carolina. What's the name of the company that you sell?
Milko, and it's Ingalls Food, which is a food chain mainly in the Carolinas, a little bit in East Tennessee.
Ingalls.
I don't know if they're in Georgia or not. I'm not sure about that, but they also do a lot of private label bottling for people. They milk bottled milk that goes all the way into Florida. It's 220 miles one way. So it's quite a bit of a haul bill, but there is a little better pay there. And we really they're very good to work with.
Okay.
Very good to work with.
Okay, and how long have you been doing business
We've been
with them?
doing with them about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, prior to that, I've been with Merrill Magenta, the company I work with. I was with them 30 years.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's take our last commercial break, and then we'll get into the future in a few minutes. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hitchcock here on the Johnny Sparkman Farm in White County. We're sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Daylily Nursery, and Barton Creek Farm, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Town Talk with Raven and Rob.
Behind the mic, I am Chad Graves.
Hey Hitchcock.
This is Tennessee True Crime.
Get our toes a-tapping with a song. Makes me want to go down Texas way.
All right, we need to dive into some Main Street Journal news, though, Rob.
Well, let's dive right in. A Florida man.
I think Jerry Lee Lewis was the one that he was late for his own concert.
Was it because of the driver?
I think it was because of what he had in the bottle in his room, probably.
Welcome back to Hey Hitchcock. This is Tim Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. We're here for our final segment with Johnny Sparkman at Sparkman Farms here in lovely White County. We've been talking about the past. What's the future holding?
Well, I wish I knew the future. That'd be great. But anyway, but you got to plan for it, don't you? I mean, if you don't,
oh yeah,
if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. You can't just be stagnant.
Right.
And so we're really evaluating where we are, and we came to the realization that we need to get bigger. My sons that are involved here, fourth generation, they have some boys coming on, and you know, we'd like to for them to have an opportunity maybe to if they choose this occupation, to have an opportunity here. And you know, it seems like every generation it gets a little bit, we grow and we sort of learn new technology, bring in new technology, and Tim, it gets a little bit easier just to pay the bills. I think we just get a little bit better at what we do, so I think there's a future here. I really do. You know, this is a deficit state. There's not enough milk produced in Tennessee. So I think that we've got the Department of Agriculture of Tennessee has been very supportive of us dairy farmers. So I think the future's bright. I really do. Boy, milk's a good product.
Oh yeah,
it's a good product.
There's nothing like a good glass of, you know, I still drink just myself about every 2 days, you know, a gallon. There's nothing like a glass of milk with some fresh strawberry pie, or my wife's
last night
chocolate chip butterscotch, oatmeal cookies.
But anyway, so we talked about our breeding philosophy a while ago. So we have enough heifers coming on that we can grow about 125 cows per year.
Okay.
So over the next 3 years, if the way what we're thinking about now is growing the next 3 years, and then we got to do some things. We got some projects we're starting this year. We got to do some things. We got to have more. You know, we can have the cows, but first thing you got to have manure storage.
Yes.
Second thing, you got to have water for these cows. So we're addressing some of those areas there. Our dry cow facility needs to be bigger, and so we're addressing those 3 areas this fall. And then we'll have another phase that will be housing. We're going to have more housing. And as we grow, and then the parlor we'll have to have a bigger parlor, because we milk 3 times a day. So you go milking, if we go to 1,000 cows, you go milking 3,000 cows a day, boy, you've got to be putting them through that barn pretty good, you know.
Just preliminary figures, how big of a barn do you think they're going to need?
Probably a double 24.
A double 24.
Rapid exit parallel.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 cows is not enough to justify a carousel.
Right.
You have to be more in the 2,500 to 3,000.
Okay.
And of course, we're getting urban pressure here.
Yeah.
From people. We got neighbors from Pennsylvania, California,
Yeah.
New York, you know, and we've been fortunate enough that my wife that I lost 7 years ago with cancer, she was behind me 100%. And we purchased 9 farms in our 46 years together. So we have the land base to do about 1,000 cows.
How many acres do y'all have?
About 1,200.
1,200 acres.
Yeah.
And how do you take advantage of your manure? Because they produce a lot of manure.
They produce a lot of manure, and we put it on our fields. You know, we had an agronomist this year that took over our helping us grow our crops, and he was just blown away at our soil.
Right.
When we done our soil samples, how good he said, this is like Iowa. Well, it's because we put all this manure back on the fields, you know.
I've got fields where I'm growing nursery stock, and you can still tell the difference. That
all these many years.
There were places that I could get into and spread liquid manure in any kind of weather. And if it was wet everywhere else, that got double dose, triple dose.
Exactly. But
we
do the same thing.
That's been over 30
Yeah.
years, and you can still tell the difference in that soil.
So we're going to take it in stages, you know, and again, help is big. We can't milk 1,000 cows. We got to have a lot of help. We'll have to have about 17 employees to do that. And that's an issue now with this immigration thing coming on. You know, we don't know where that's going to go. We need some answers.
Yeah.
And we need some answers, but that may play a big part in us making a decision, you know.
Of course it will.
Yeah.
Of course it will. Well, Johnny, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure
Enjoyed
to
it.
reconnect with you, and appreciate it. We'll have to stay in touch. This is Tim Hitchcock with Hey Hey Hitchcock, sponsored by Farm Credit Mid-America, Morton's Horticultural Products, Barton Creek Farm, and Daylily Nursery. And we'll be back next week.